My initial thoughts in curating the exhibition for Kaleidoscopic Animalia was to examine man's relationship with animals in design and how that relationship has influenced various aspects of design, from interiors to art to fashion, pop culture, lifestyle. And much of that inspiration was really instigated by seeing a preview of touring the artifacts and the collections with the archivists from the Glenbow Museum. When I first saw how diverse it is and, you know, the scale of it, it was really quite overwhelming. I can't imagine, you know, being one of the archivists having to manage such a collection. But, you know, it was such a gratifying experience because it felt like, you know, a real collective effort. The museum had engaged every area of the institution into really making this exhibition a success. And the thing that was quite delightful was that many of the archivists had never seen a lot of these pieces before, because obviously not everything is photographed. It's just sort of listed, you know, by a SKU system or a description. And so when things were pulled out, you know, it was sort of a fascination to all of us in some way, which was sort of new and exciting for them as much as it was for myself. The interesting thing about animals in fashion is that it's sort of evolved from a place of very primal kind of survival aspects of, you know, skins and things protecting the elements. For example, the Inuit using, you know, seal or in one of the instances in the exhibition, duck feathers for, you know, their kayaking purposes. And it's then sort of around the Victorian era of the Industrial Revolution, the idea of wearing skins became more of a fashion status and a luxury thing. And so there's, you know, there was a psychology within tribes that you believed that you were taking on certain attributes of that animal, whether it was, you know, courage or, you know, confidence or something. And I think there's a similar psychology to that in fashion today when a woman pairs her outfit with like a pair of leopard shoes, for example. And so that is kind of a common thread through every social hierarchy, is that connection. But it also has created an interesting conversation in society that's sort of an opposing tension of what is politically correct and also issues of appropriation now more recently in kind of mainstream fashion versus, you know, things that are indigenous to certain cultures. This artistic rendering done by one of the students is a reflection of one of the outfits that I designed actually for the 60th anniversary of the National Ballet. They were doing a fundraiser called the Tutu Project, and they hired various different international designers. And the one that I created was sort of inspired by Midsummer's Night's Dream, and the top half of the dress was all hand knit in Scotland, and the yarn was spun in Japan, and created this very kind of organic type of design that really morphed sort of nature and design together, which essentially is what animals in design is. So they did a really nice rendering. Aside from the general education that I hope that students learn from, specific artifacts or history, I really, part of the intention was that I wanted them to appreciate the craftsmanship that's really died off because we're in such a disposable society now. There's certain things that took years to create that are in that exhibition, and I really wanted them to see man's ability to create something. Further to that, I was hoping that they would be able to leave with a more conscious approach in their life of realizing how much this subject matter permeates our culture. That we notice it on our sports teams and our cereal boxes and in our branding, and it just is a lot more ingrained in our society, and it really is the common thread that links us all internationally, because that relationship is something through every culture.